Join Marty Johnson, the holistic health practitioner and founder of Total Health Nutrition Center in Menomonee Falls, Wisconsin, as he delivers these podcasts to enlighten you and give you hope that there are health solutions to conditions that seem difficult to resolve, or even better answers than a medical approach of prescribing a chemical drug, which most times is nothing more than a Band-Aid fix, rather than getting to the root cause of your problem. The mission of the Total Health podcast is to provide the education and support that will lead to transforming people's healths so they can live a much more efficient, productive, and happier life the way God intended it to be. Join him now for his latest podcast.
Okay, I want to welcome you to today's podcast, and I'm really excited to introduce to you Janell, our physical therapist, who specializes in a very special technique called Fascial Counterstrain. She'll be interviewing a client testifying to how effective this technique really is. Well, here's Janell, and I hope you enjoy this testimony.
Welcome. I'm your host, Janell Strupp, physical therapist at Total Health Wellness Clinic. I'm here to share with you a little more about Fascial Counterstrain, my area of expertise, which is a new service available at Total Health Clinic in Menomonee Falls. I am so pleased and honored to welcome a special guest today, Bonnie, and she has agreed to tell you a little more about the personal impact she's experienced and how Fascial Counterstrain has really changed her life for the better. I'm excited to raise the community's awareness of this kind of success we've been having with clients just like Bonnie, so that more people like yourself or someone you love can also benefit. People who are putting up with persistent stiffness, pain or loss of mobility, loss of strength, difficulty enjoying their daily activities that you want to do and love to do, but simply are limited, like driving a car, doing yard work, or enjoying your favorite hobby. Now, Bonnie has been a regular customer at Total Health Nutrition Center and Wellness Clinic, and over the past 6 months, she has been learning more about how to improve her health and well-being. Welcome, Bonnie, and thank you for this opportunity to let others know about your success and how powerful the effects of Fascial Counterstrain have been for you.
Well, hi, Janell. Thanks for letting me come in and share with other people some of the great benefits I've received. For over the past 30 years, I've been experiencing various kinds of body work, which has helped and I've been impressed with, but has not come close to what you have done for me.
Thank you, Bonnie. Well, now earlier this year, a flyer for the clinical service Fascial Counterstrain caught Bonnie's attention while she was browsing through the New Berlin nutrition store. Of course, it's in her nature to be intrigued by fresh new information, and Fascial Counterstrain was something that during her career as a massage therapist, she had never come across before. Fascial Counterstrain is a new and emerging technology that is supported by the latest research findings on fascia. The idea of a gentle therapy that can restore range of motion, strength, and function, as well as fix pain quickly and sustainably, piqued Bonnie's interest. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about your experience?
Well, at the time that I heard about it, I was bothered with this persistent pain in my right shoulder and other issues going on in my body as life happens as we age. Realizing that these long-standing limitations were starting to catch up with me in more ways than one, I knew I had to do something different. I had been to a variety of body workers, chiropractors, and had made the recommended changes to my diet and exercise. Even with all of the effort I put into it, I was still having difficulty with simple daily tasks, such as turning the steering wheel while driving. Realizing that these long-standing limitations were starting to catch up with me, I was looking for something else to help me out. And as a massage therapist, I had learned to keep my eyes and ears open for new things, because something new is always on the horizon, and as long as our body is living, it can heal. So by finding this myofascial counterstrain, this was the answer for me.
Clearly, these kind of issues, such as limited shoulder range of motion and difficulty washing your windows or driving your car, was not something you were planning on. And it sounds like the pain was getting worse over the months, and the limitations were just kind of sneaking up on you. So when all that was happening, what was your biggest fear?
Yes, I was worried about what the future would hold for me. I want to live to be a ripe old age, and I want to be mobile while I'm doing it. My goal was to get rid of old patterns that weren't working any longer. I want to get the most out of life and enjoy freedom of mobility into my old age, and the fear of losing that, especially in my right shoulder, was quite worrisome.
Those are very real and legitimate concerns, Bonnie. Thank you for mentioning all of these things. I'm sure a lot of our listeners are going through similar crises in their lives and not sure what they can do about it. So many patients that I never get to work with are out there putting up with chronic pain and restrictions in their mobility, whether it's a shoulder or a hip, a knee, a neck, or a back problem. For so many people, fascial counterstrain could be that gentle, painless evaluation and treatment technique that may actually provide the solutions they never dreamed were possible. Bonnie, would you mind describing what your first session of fascial counterstrain was like?
My first session was fantastic. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, I came in and filled out the form to have my shoulder, neck, and arm worked on. That was my primary complaint. I really was hopeful to ease the pain. I was really hopeful that this would be the key to take care of my shoulder issues. I really expected that your fascial counterstrain would be the answer to my question. Your seminar was fantastic. I got so educated and really believed in what you do. So you scanned my skull using light fingertip pressure, which I learned was called the cranial scan. You evaluated and then developed a treatment based on those findings. As you worked on my shoulder, arm, and neck, I also felt my low back, pelvis, and legs relaxing. Halfway through the session, I finally expressed these sensations and the memories of my old issues that came into my awareness.
Wow, yes, that is true. Those old knee problems can often stem from stiffness in the lower back, which sometimes we're not suspecting. A quick rescan of your head told me that the primary systems of concern were not just in your shoulder, but in other areas of your body, and your body was ready to release those. So when I treat, I always let the body be the dictator and follow what the scan tells me to do. That included not only your right shoulder, arm, and neck, but areas in your lower body that were directly affecting the shoulder through reflexive fascial stiffness that your body had developed as sort of an armor to protect you from perceived threats in your everyday life. How did you feel when you got off the table after that first session?
It was amazing. I went dancing out to the reception area and told everybody about it. My arm was swinging so well. I could reach easily above my head without pain and stiffness. It was gone. It simply wasn't there.
Yeah, I remember that. I think I'll never forget how excited you were as you left the session. You were all smiles, waving your arm, and it sort of reminded me of a beauty queen's wave.
That's funny. But yes, it was moving so well. I felt like I could become a tennis player, even though I couldn't play tennis. I felt so free. I was also standing and walking straighter and stronger. I sat taller in my car, my knees were better aligned over the gas pedal, and my hands were more comfortable on the steering wheel. Even my jaw felt more relaxed. I am now even sleeping on my right side without having shoulder pain. I know of somebody who, one of the major reasons she got shoulder surgery was so she could sleep on it. And a year later, she was still having a hard time sleeping on it. I got cleared up in one session. Thank you.
Isn't that true that sometimes you don't need that surgery, even though the MRI or the CT scan shows a degenerative change that you could have removed or cut out? Maybe that wasn't the problem in the first place. Maybe if we just were able to relieve the inflammation in the soft tissues, the pain would go away and the mobility would be restored. And I think that's remarkable. I think you're a prime example of that happening.
I am just so excited.
And now I hear you're washing windows and raking leaves with more energy and freedom than ever.
I am. I even shoveled snow the other day, but I'm glad I was back here because I did mess my shoulder up. That was the wet, heavy, 3/4 of it was water. But yes, I am feeling so good.
So yes, we live life, and sometimes we tweak or twist the wrong way. We may cause a little bit of a backlash in the body, but having a tune-up session really helps to clear those things and keep you running smoothly.
Speaking of tune-up sessions, I remember one of the sessions, I have a pedal boat, and I had to clean the water out of it, and I was leaning into it instead of just taking the water out. So the boat went away from me and I almost did a header. And that was quite scary. But I would say because of the balance I had from your work, I didn't fall in. And then I think I had an appointment scheduled with you 2 days after that. And it's feeling great again. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Yes, life happens, and it's important to have a way to release these daily stresses that our body would accumulate otherwise. All I can say is, wow, Bonnie, Fascial Counterstrain never ceases to amaze me, and you amaze me as well. You are the real rock star here. Your dedication, your persistence, it doesn't go unnoticed, and the effort you've put in has really made all of this possible.
Oh, can I add one more thing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm always good for talking. There was, the other day you did a move on my neck that other therapists have tried on me, and it's nobody's been able to be successful on it. But you went through it so smoothly, and I think it's because my neck has loosened up so well through your treatments. And I also have to comment that I had gone to a regular visit with my chiropractor, and he said, "Oh, your neck is moving so much smoother." And it just has always locked up. I thought it locked up because I was holding it, but now I'm recognizing it locks up because it just was so tight on its own.
Like it was wound up.
Yeah.
And because it was already wound up, it was more prone to injury. Now it's not wound up, and you have that freedom, so you can withstand more in your life.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
And so here at Total Health, because we operate on a cash pay basis, we're not utilizing insurance. That puts you in the driver's seat. Actually, can be cost saving if you do the math. For a lot of people, they may have a high deductible. I know that I do. Or a high copay, and the price of our visits here we are keeping as low as possible so that you actually can come out ahead by not using your insurance. Our clients are able to continue with the service as long as they feel it's needed, and there are no insurance limitations imposed on them or cutoffs. As long as you're satisfied with your progress and as long as the cranial scan tells us that there is work to be done, we can continue. And if I don't think I can help you, I will be the first one to let you know. I want you to be successful. And so I will make referrals whenever that's appropriate. That's my number one goal, is your success. Fascial Counterstrain can also be used preventatively for any age person who would like to decrease their risk of suffering, pain, or debility. Getting tuned up regularly can be a great sustainable way to clear dysfunction from the body. It's great for speeding up recovery from acute and chronic injuries, for getting rid of pain, limited motion, weakness, or instability anywhere in the body, gently and sustainably. If you're still not sure whether Fascial Counterstrain could help you with any specific condition that was not mentioned here, please give us a call. And thank you again, Bonnie, for joining us. Thank you for joining us, Bonnie, and thank you to everyone who's listening into this success story. Please give Total Health a call. We're conveniently located at the corner of Pilgrim and Appleton in Menomonee Falls. We would be happy to offer a no-charge discovery session so you can find out more specific answers to your questions, or join us for one of the upcoming educational seminars so you can experience a demonstration for yourself, just like Bonnie did, because really the proof is in the pudding.
Thanks for joining us today on the Total Health Podcast. If you'd like more information about how Total Health can transform your health, check them out. They would love to set up a free consultation with you over the phone. Call them at 262-251-2929 to make that appointment. Otherwise, you can check them out on the web at www.totalhealthinc.com.